Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Ensuring Reliable Power in an Uncertain World, Turnkey BESS Solutions by Tecloman. My name is Daniel Fuchs, Chief Customer Officer at EUPD Group, and I'm very pleased to moderate today's session together with our partners from Tecloman and BESSEPC.de. Across global energy markets, we are seeing a rapid acceleration of electrification, renewable integration, and grid transformation. At the same time, volatility, energy security concerns, and increasing flexibility requirements are creating entirely new challenges for utilities, EPCs, industrial players, and investors alike. This is exactly where battery storage systems are becoming one of the key enabling technologies of our energy transition. Today's session will focus on practical, real-world perspectives. Turnkey BESS deployment, mobile and flexible storage applications, technical project execution, and the European market outlook for C&I energy storage. We also encourage everyone joining online live today to use the chat and Q&A functions throughout the session. So now let's get started. To begin, we will take a look how integrated storage solutions are evolving from standalone products into complete energy service ecosystems. It is my pleasure now to introduce Ramona Pan, Sales Manager at Tecloman. Her presentation is titled Energy Storage System Total Solution Service Provider. Thank you in advance, and Ramona, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Ramona, and today I would like to share a very important topic in the energy storage industry, which is why integration matters, or more specifically, why a BESS project is not simply about buying good equipment, but also about building one coordinated system. Today, many people still think about BESS projects in a very traditional way. They think if I choose the best battery, the best PCS, and the best EMS, then I can automatically get the best system. But in reality, this is often not true, because BESS is not a collection of parts, it is a coordinated ecosystem. And this is exactly where many projects fail. Even when every component is individually certified and high quality, the overall system can still become unstable. This is something we see very often in the market. For example, the battery works correctly, the PCS passes all certifications, the EMS software is online and accessible. Everything looks good individually, but once the system starts operating together, problem appears. Maybe the system alarms frequently, maybe grid connection becomes difficult, maybe the control strategy conflict with each other, or sometimes the system keeps overcorrecting itself. This creates the instability. So the problem is really not the hardware itself. The real problem is the lack of integration. Traditionally, many EPCs or developers buy components separately. Batteries from supplier A, PCS from supplier B, EMS from supplier C. At first glance, this seems flexible, but in reality, each supplier only optimizes their own equipment. Nobody optimizes the whole system together. This creates integration gaps. And finally, the customer becomes the system integrator. And unfortunately, this also means the customer becomes the person carrying all the risks. So what problems come from poor integration? There are three major areas. First, control conflicts. The EMS, PCS, and BMS must communicate extremely fast. Sometimes even milliseconds matter a lot. If communication delays happen, the system response becomes unstable. The system keeps adjusting and over-adjusting again and again. Finally, the grid becomes unstable and equipment wear increases. Second, grid compliance. In Europe especially, grid requirements are becoming strict. Passing certifications on paper is not enough anymore because the grid operator does not look at your batteries only. They look at the entire plant as one system, which means reactive power control, harmonic control, frequency response, and protection logic must all work together perfectly. Without system-level coordination, commissioning can become a nightmare. Sometimes projects can even be delayed for weeks. Third, it's safety and thermal management. Battery safety is not only about cells, it also depends on the HVAC, fire protection, temperature control, and operating strategy. If these systems are not linked properly, safety risks could increase significantly. So real safety also depends on integration as well. Here is a category of battery failures. As we can see, it's very complicated and interconnected. We have to be equipped with system thinking to locate the exact root cause. Another common issue in projects is responsibility. When there are many suppliers involved, troubleshooting becomes very difficult. Everyone keeps saying maybe it's the EMS, maybe it's the PCS, or no, it's because of the communication protocol. And finally, nobody takes full responsibility. This creates longer commissioning period and unclear communication and inconsistent documentation and even frustrated customers. I think many people in this industry have experienced this before. So what is real integration? Real integration happens at multiple levels. Layer 1, the hardware integration. This includes optimized layout, airflow design, cable routing, safety separation, thermal design, and maintainability. Good physical design improves both safety and long-term reliability. Layer 2, control and application integration. This is even more important. The EMS, PCS, and BMS must operate like one brain instead of three independent systems. A good integrated system can respond faster, operate more smoothly, and adapt to different applications, no matter its utility scale, microgrid, CNI, renewable integration, or grid support. And layer 3, it's coordinated system. The EMS acts like the brain of the system, making overall decisions and sending commands. The PCS manages the energy conversion process, and the BMS continuously monitors the battery status to ensure safety and performance. So real integration means not separate equipment, but one coordinated system working as a single ecosystem. So why turnkey integration creates more value? At Tecloman, we believe integration is not only about technology, it's about reducing customer risks. A turnkey integrated solution provides one single responsibility, which means one partner, one interface, and one accountable team. Second, it provides faster delivery because systems are already coordinated internally. Project cycles can become shorter than those who didn't provide the whole system. Third, it can provide either easier commissioning, less communication issue, less debugging, and less uncertainty. And finally, integration is also about knowledge. At Tecloman, we focus on partner training and technical support because successful projects require good products, good engineering, and good understanding. Only when all three work together can we build truly reliable energy storage projects. So, today's industry is changing, and the future of BESS is no longer who has the cheapest components. The future is who can deliver the most coordinated and reliable system. Because in energy storage, integration creates really real value. That's all about my sharing today. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ramona, for the great insights. It's really scene setting for today's webinar. And yeah, we now move from the integrated service concepts towards one of the most dynamic developments in the storage market, mobile and flexible BESS applications. Especially in uncertain energy environments, temporary and rapidly deployable storage solutions are gaining significant relevance. I am now pleased to welcome Long Li, Solution Engineer at Tecloman. His presentation today for you is titled Uncertain Energy Era Reliable Power from Mobile Battery Energy Storage Systems. Long, the stage is yours. Please go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, good day. Today, I'd like to share a core topic, uncertain energy era, mobile power from the basis. In the changeable energy era, stable power supply is a must. Tecloman brings the next generation mobile energy storage system, 𝐞𝐥𝐿. We provide reliable power support for global energy transition with safe and efficient mobile base. Today's sharing has three parts. First, the uncertain challenge of the energy future. Second, Tecloman mobile basis technical solution. Third, multi-dimensional analysis of core product advantages. First, let's look at the challenges. The first problem is the unstable power grid. Extremely weather happens more often. Grid failure and large-scale blackout are easy to occur. Stability and safety of power supply cannot be guaranteed. The second problem is the huge carbon reduction pressure. The world is promoting carbon neutrality. Traditional coal and oil power must be replaced by clean energy. The third problem is the loud noise disturbing people. Traditional diesel generators are very noisy. They are restricted in urban centers and residential areas. The fourth problem is the unstable cost. The oil price reflecting sharply due to the international situation. Operating costs are unpredictable. Facing these problems, Tecloman's answer is mobile-based. We solve all power pain points with reliable power. Our mobile base covers 4 scenarios: major events, emergency rescues, maintenance, construction sites. Millisecond level grid switching ensure uninterrupted power supply. Flexible, clean, and quiet, meeting mobile power demand. 𝐞𝐥𝐿 mobile base is rating power 500 kilowatts. Operating noise is less than or equal 16 decibel. Stable from -20 degree to 55 degree. And the battery life up to 10 years. The standard container size, easy transport and installation. New generation toolbox is fully upgraded. More fuel saving, zero emission, no noise, small size, nice weight, zero waste in transport. Partner with diesel generators and covered 500 kilowatt to 2 megawatt power demand. And the toolbox is integrating 19 air conditioning, firefighting system, and energy management system. Complete ports, plug and play. And this toolbox is the modular design. The AC side connect to the grid and generators, and the DC side connect to the solar and wind. Multi-energy integrated for flexi scenarios. And the toolbox works everywhere. Ports, construction sites, outdoor events, charging stations, factory backup power, weak grid areas. It's perfect for noise-sensitive and high environmental protection places. We can also build wind, solar, storage microgrids to realize zero carbon operations. Our products are already in use around the world. For example, our products in the United States support self-use, surplus power to grid and emergency backup. It runs stably and wins great customer recognitions. Finally, let's look at our core advantages. First, strong and durable structure. Factories and equipment are reinforced for mobile use. High strain weather resistant steel. IP54 protection. Thermal insulation improved by 15%. Safe and reliable in harsh environments. Secondly, in the intelligent and easy management is also the advantages. The real-time monitoring, remote control, the fault warning in less than 13 seconds, remote response as fast as 100 milliseconds, active alarm and intelligence inspections. Operation and maintenance are worry-free. Compared with traditional power and diesel generators, the toolbox advantage is the zero pollution, no noise, flexible, plug and play, save electricity and fuel with peak valley prices, more stable power output, higher power quality. In this uncertain energy era, Tecloman Mobile BESS stay true to our mission, providing stable, reliable, and clean power for users worldwide. Thank you for your attention. Let's work together to a new clean energy future. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Long, for the detailed sharings on what Tecloman has on offer in terms of reliable power from mobile BESS. Technology alone, however, is only one part of successful BESS deployment. The real challenge often lies in engineering quality, project execution, commissioning, and operational integration. To explore this perspective further, I'm very pleased now to introduce our next speaker, who is Mohsen Tabisi, Chief Technical Consultant at BESS epc.de. His presentation carries a very important message. BESS is not a product, it's a full system, from education to real-world project execution. Mohsen, over to you for your presentation.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. First of all, I would like to thank Daniel, Ramona, and Alan for presentations. My name is Mohsen Tabrizi, technical lead at BESS EPC, where we'll focus on real-world battery energy storage deployment, EPC execution, commissioning, and advanced BESS integration across international markets. Over the past years, one thing became increasingly clear to us. The global BESS market is growing faster than the industry's technical knowledge infrastructure. The Tecloman Academy was created to help close that gap, not simply as another online course, but as a practical industry-focused learning platform built around and real EPC experience, commissioning realities, factory access, and utility-scale energy storage applications. Today, I would like to share not only the Academy itself, but also the bigger vision behind it. Battery energy storage is no longer a future technology. It is rapidly becoming a core infrastructure layer of the global energy transition. As deployment accelerates worldwide, the industry faces a major challenge. There are still not enough professionals with practical BESS knowledge. That is exactly why we created the Advanced Learning Path. The goal was to build a platform that combines technical depth, commercial understanding, and real operation experience. Not just theory, not just marketing, but real-world BESS understanding. Today's power systems are changing fundamentally. Renewable penetration is increasing. Electrification is accelerating. Grid complexity is growing. At the same time, flexibility has become one of the most valuable assets in modern energy systems. Battery energy storage systems are now playing a central role in grid stabilization, renewable integration, peak shaving, energy trading, backup power, and infrastructure resilience. This is no longer a niche market. BESS is becoming one of the defining technologies of the modern energy economy. One of the biggest misconceptions in the market is that BESS is simply about batteries. In reality, a modern BESS is a highly integrated ecosystem. Battery cells, BMS, EMS, PCS, HVAC, fire suppression, SCADA, transformers, protection systems, and communication architecture, communication architecture must all operate together seamlessly. And in real projects, integration quality often determines project success more than individual components specifications. This is why practical engineering understanding is becoming increasingly critical across the industry. The Academy was designed as a modular and scalable learning platform for the global energy sector. The audience includes engineers, EPC teams, technicians, investors, project developers, and commercial professionals. One major objective was to reduce the gap between theoretical learning and real project execution. This is why we included real project environments, factory walkthroughs, container-level system explanations, and practical field perspectives. The focus has always been practical relevance because ultimately, the industry does not need more marketing slides. It needs more capable professionals. The market response has strongly validated the demand for practical BESS education. Since launching around October last year, the Academy has already grown to more than 1,100 learners globally in over 88 countries. We have also received more than 160 verified reviews with an average rating of 4.6 out of 5. Most importantly, the audience comes from across the entire energy ecosystem: engineers, EPC companies, investors, technicians, system integrators, and commercial teams. This confirmed something we already suspected. The global market is massively underserved when it comes to practical BESS experience. And this is the beginning only. The Academy covers both technical and commercial dimensions of battery energy storage systems. Topics include battery technologies, PCS systems, EMS and BMS architecture, installation, commissioning, safety troubleshooting, and system integration, and operational best practices. We also cover financial and strategic aspects such as ROI, LCOS, CapEx versus OpEx, and market applications. In parallel, we discuss international compliance frameworks, including UL, IEC, VDE, and TÜV related standards. Because future industry leaders must understand both engineering and business realities. The Academy structure was intentionally designed as a progressive learning path. We begin with battery fundamentals and system architecture, then move into real projects, commissioning, troubleshooting, business models, ROI analysis, safety, and international standards. The objective was not simply to create educational content. The objective was to create industry readiness. What differentiates this academy is its practical foundation. Instead of relying only on slides and theory, we focused heavily on real equipment, filmed objective environments, factory access, voiceover explanations, and operational perspectives. The Academy is also continuously evolving based on real industry feedback, because the BESS industry itself is evolving rapidly. Technologies are changing. Business models are changing. Grid requirements are changing. And technical education must evolve at the same speed. The next phase of the Academy goes beyond recorded learning. We are expanding toward a broader knowledge ecosystem that includes community interaction, expert sessions, and advanced technical content, AI integration, grid services, microgrid, and utility scale applications. At the same time, feedback from the industry remains extremely important for us. We genuinely want to understand what challenges you are facing, which knowledge gaps still exist, and what type of advanced content would create the most value of your organizations. Because ultimately, the goal is not just to build cores. The goal is to help accelerate global BESS knowledge maturity. The BESS industry is entering a period of massive global expansion. But one major challenge remains: the shortage of experienced professionals. This creates a significant opportunity to individuals and organizations willing to invest in real technical understanding today. The companies and professionals who develop deep BESS expertise now will help shape the next generation of global energy infrastructure. Continuous learning is no longer optional in the industry. It is becoming a competitive advantage. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. I truly appreciate the opportunity to share this journey and vision with you. And we would genuinely value your feedback, insights, and suggestions regarding the future direction of the Academy, because this platform is intended to evolve together with the industry itself. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you soon at the future BESS projects and industry events, hopefully next month at the Intersolar. Thank you very much. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Mohsen. Yeah, for sure. Our viewers today, and we, of course, will see each other at the Smarter E Intersolar ES Europe next month in Munich. So we are all very much looking forward to this event. We have now heard perspectives from technology, deployment, and execution. To conclude the session, I personally now would like to take a closer look at the European market environment and what it means in terms of EPC readiness and the C&I storage growth that is expected to come this year and the years after. So my presentation will follow now. I'm going ahead and sharing my screen. Okay, so as you can see, my presentation for today is titled European C&I Energy Storage Outlook 2026, Market Growth Perspectives, as well as the EPC readiness based on EUPD Group's latest research data among European EPC companies. So let's directly jump into the presentation. And I would like to start off, as mentioned also on the title, to provide you an update on the European energy storage landscape. And I can already give a spoiler. It is going to be a great year for storage in Europe in 2026. Let us first take a look on the European energy storage capacity on an annual level. And we see here a very great growth trajectory. While we all know that the PV developments or deployments in Europe are stagnating, we had seen a 43% increase of energy storage deployments from 24 to 25. And it is expected even to rise further this year with 71%. So we see that utility scale tenders, as well as the auctions, are now driving large scale deployment. And we also have to notice here that the retrofit and the flexibility driven storage demand remain largely untapped yet. So it's not yet really factored in. And this especially applies to the residential as well as commercial and industrial segments in Europe. So a great growth curve expected over the next years. If we are now translating that on a segmental level, so we see here the segment dynamics, There is a shift that we notice from more the residential side towards larger scale C&I, as well as utility scale applications in the energy storage segment. So this means that systems above 1 MWh do account for over 53% of the new capacity in the previous year, and this is going to rise in 2026 to 64%. While we see that the share, the percentages of the residential and C&I declines, we have to notice that both segments continue to grow in absolute installations. In the center of the pie charts, you see the overall deployments from 31 GWh to 53 GWh in this year. So looking on residential and C&I, there are even there growth perspectives of 16% and 56% respectively. So this now zooms into the only in the C&I, so commercial and industrial segments on a European level. And we do see that C&I energy storage shows the strongest growth momentum within Europe's DG energy markets. According to our research, we see that there's also a strong installer readiness with C&I projects increasingly shaping the deployment strategies. So this means that companies who originally only offered residential solutions, they are now also expanding more and more into the commercial segment. What are the drivers here? So we see peak shaving, revenue stacking, grid constraints, and regulatory reform are accelerating the adoption in 2026 and onwards. When we sum this all up, we can say, and it's also a good message, the C&I energy storage opportunity in Europe is expected to be 26 GWh within the next 3 years, according to EUPD research analysis in the Global Energy Transition Matrix. Now let's look on the country level. And here in this chart, we see the European top 10 markets for commercial and industrial storage in 2026. So what does this picture show us? Of course, it is obvious Germany and the Netherlands do lead the C&I storage market in terms of deployments in 2026 with 785 and 647 MWh of deployment respectively. But there are also other countries that do follow with good projections for C&I storage, including Sweden, Italy, and Poland. And now we have the top 5 markets covered. But what is more important in this picture is that we see many mid-tier markets, such as the UK, Spain, France, and also the Czech Republic, which indicates to us that we have a broadening adoption, so a diversification on a country level for the C&I segment within Europe, which is good because if we compare it to the residential level, years ago, we have seen there are 1, 2, 3 pavers in the market, notably Germany, Italy, and also the UK. But other markets were very slow. But here in the C&I segment, we see a more diversified market structure on a country level. So, but what does this require? It also requires that we need targeted and country-specific strategies in order to really unlock the potential on each market. It is not one strategy that will succeed in Europe. It will be country specific, and the leaders will be born out of this perspective. Now, in the second part of my presentation, I would like to share some insights from our latest PV commercial and industrial EPC monitor. This is a primary database study where we have been surveying around 130 EPC companies in-depth computer-assisted telephone interviews about business models, about technology adoption, about market trends, etc. Yeah, this is one of our flagship reports that we do offer to the industry as part of their strategy shaping process on the country levels that I just mentioned. And here on the first slide, we see the C&I market outlook, and we see the readiness, the EPC shift towards integrated energy management, so integrated systems. 75% of the EPCs already offer EMS solutions, they have said. Smart grid integration and flexibility services are becoming a core expansion area also for the engineering, procurement, and construction companies. So the focus of the EPCs is shifting from a mere PV deployment or installation towards a full energy solution, right? Towards energy optimization. And another trend is when we talk about readiness, many EPCs do already offer energy storage within their portfolios, for C&I system, for C&I projects. And also a fair number is planning to do or to implement that into their portfolio in the future. So there is a huge readiness already given. Now we look on the EPCs that expand into flexible storage business models. And here we have asked the EPCs about the business models across Europe and what kind of financing support do they offer to their C&I customers. The findings are 86% of the EPCs already offer solar plus storage PPA models. So this is already highly penetrated. 80% support storage as a service business model. Also, flexibility and VPP offerings continue expanding across the market. Financing increasingly is also embedded into the EPC value propositions. So EPCs, the key takeaway is EPCs are expanding from mere installers really for their customers into long-term energy partners. This is really remarkable. So to conclude my Impulse presentation today, I have 3 key takeaways. So point number 1 is the C&I opportunity. So there is a really strong growth which is driven by C&I and grid scale demand through the rapid expansion of C&I storage. And the drivers here are rising energy costs, increasing flexibility needs, ESG and sustainability compliance in Europe plays also a very important role. And policy support is also on the uptake. Second, we see a clear readiness as we just reviewed on the slides before. So the market readiness is already on the ground. EPCs across Europe are rapidly expanding into integrated energy management, the financing support, and the solar plus storage business models for their end customers. Third, the infrastructure. Yeah, storage is no longer optional in most of the countries in Europe. It is now an essential infrastructure, a pillar of the energy transition. So it's required to support, energy storage is required to support flexibility, self-consumption, as well as energy resilience. So I hope within my short impulse presentation today, I was able to give you a good feeling about the great growth trajectory of the European energy storage market, with a specific focus on the C&I segment, which was also backed and underlined by the primary data that we have gathered from the major market intermediaries, namely the EPC companies. Thank you very much. I go to my contact slide. So if you would like to get in touch with us, if you have any questions, my team and we are more than happy to support you at any time. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I will stop the screen sharing for now and provide a couple of closing remarks. So again, right, thank you everyone for joining today's great webinar, which we have hosted together with our close partners from Tecloman, as well as BESS-EPC.de. And thank you to all the speakers for sharing their expertise. The storage sector is moving extremely quickly, and discussions like today's are becoming increasingly important as our markets are maturing from pure technology adoption, as we have heard, towards scalable implementation right now. We hope today's session provided useful insights and practical perspectives for your own projects and market activities. Thank you again for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you at future webinars hosted by EuPD Group. Once again, thank you very much for your attendance. To all speakers, have a great sunny day and see you soon. Goodbye.